Lach Caskey from the Last Dinosaurs. Welcome to Australian Musician.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Hey, you're in lockdown in Mexico. What's that like?
It's perfectly fine. I'm pretty comfortable. I'm in Guanajuato City, which is sort of state above Mexico City. And even though the situation is getting worse here day by day, this is the kind of town that students leave to go home to all the surrounding cities. So it's pretty desolate. So yeah, I'm safe.
Yeah. So, what is the Mexican connection? How did you come to be there?
Um, well, for quite a few years, I've had friends in different parts of Mexico, and since we last came, well, I think it was last year. Yeah, 2019 was the first time we came to Mexico to play, and we made a lot of good friends then. But also, my best friend from Australia, he was already living here. And so instead of going to Mexico City where I've got friends, I decided to come here because Mexico City is pretty dire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what sort of plans did the band have to put aside this year?
Oh, a lot of stuff, and including stuff that I wish I could announce, but it was stuff that's like yet to be announced. But the stuff that definitely got cancelled, unfortunately, was a tour in Mexico here, and South America. We were going to do Chile, Brazil, and Peru before heading up to Texas and doing 4 shows in Texas. So we kind of really missed out. It kind of sucks. But
Yeah. So, how have you been spending your time? Have you been learning any new skills?
really, I kind of love this kind of hermit time anyway. So I've just no new skills, but just really trying to refine and get better at singing. I've been writing music every day. In fact, I was just writing music just before you called me. But I'm just committing myself to have a lot of structure each day because it's easy to just fall into a slump, do nothing. And, we're going to have an album ready by the end of this year, and now is the perfect time to get cracking on it, I suppose. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we'll talk about the album in a minute, but I just wanted to talk about picking up the guitar when you were younger. When
Yeah.
was the first time you kind of noticed guitarists and guitar tone as opposed to bands and songs?
It probably it's the impetus was the Strokes. It always has been. It
Okay.
changed me and my brother's perspective on music entirely. It's almost like it awakened us in a way. And one of the things I fell in love with about the Strokes was the guitar sound. Like it was rough and it just had a sort of a low fidelity distortion to it. And it was just cool. So I guess pretty much as soon as I started playing guitar, because I kind of started playing guitar because of the Strokes, more or less. Yeah,
Have you ever got to see the band play?
yeah, yeah. A couple of times, both times at Splendor in the grass.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty.
Something that is guitar related and happened to you guys recently was you became a Fender Next Band.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
did that deal mean to you?
Um, Man, literally childhood dream come true. We could not believe it, and especially it's they send you guitars in the mail and everything, and they give you all. We got amps and guitars and all sorts of technical support too. But really, it hit home for us what had really happened to us when we got to LA and we went to the showroom in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard, and just I don't know, that was just nuts to actually go into kind of like Fender HQ and meet the people and just see where they're working on prototype guitars and like in the offices, which is next to the workshop building. The entire office is lined with like one of a kind Fenders, like a 1954 Telecaster or something, like one of Stevie Ray Vaughan's Strats. Just guitars worth bonkers amounts of money,
Yeah.
just lining the hallways. So really, because me and my brother only ever played Fenders by choice, it meant the world to us. So like, I rarely think about it, but when I do have a moment to think about it, it kind of blows my mind every time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, which model of Fender did you choose?
Strat. It's always
Yeah.
like I've owned Tellys before, I've owned Jazz Masters before, but for me, I'm just pretty boring, bog standard Stratocaster guy. But the white one back there, that's the one they gave me.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just, for me, they're the most versatile, and I don't know, they look cool, and I don't know, they look good in white, so
Yeah.
why not?
Your brother has a habit of modifying his guitars. Do you have
Yeah.
the same issue? The
No, not at all, actually. I didn't inherit the engineering brain from our grandfather.
Okay.
I got the languages brain, I think, because I'm into. Sean has a curiosity with building stuff and electronics, and he's a absolute, like, I don't know, he's a genius in his own right. That stuff. He basically taught himself how to make circuit boards just off the internet. But no, I'm not concerned with that stuff. I just let him do it. Yeah.
And which amp did you choose to play through?
Well, always just DeVille's, Hot Rod DeVille's. Yeah, 2x12. It just gets the job done. I use two of them because I go stereo. And yeah, my brother just needs one. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You've got a new single out called Flying, which I believe you wrote. Tell me about
Yep.
how that song came about.
Okay. So it's been around for a better part of 3 years, and it started off as a trap song that I was just making by myself, and I was really infatuated with the kind of chords that were used in a lot of Travis Scott's production, because it was very much like outside of like the major key stuff that, majority of music we listen to is in, but it just was super appealing to me. So I found out how to replicate that by learning other keys of music, basically, and using more like augmented and diminished chords or whatever, stuff like that. And but I couldn't program a trap beat because I wasn't experienced enough in it, and I was getting too lazy. So I put a house beat over the top of it, and it ended up sounding really good. And I thought, well, like, I'll get Sean to play bass over this because I know he's really good at playing kind of disco house bass guitar, like he can slap and stuff like that.
Okay.
And when he did, it just completed the song, and it sounded nuts. And then it just lived on SoundCloud for up until now, since 3 years ago. And really, because things that I submit to SoundCloud really just go into, like a black hole. It's like an oblivion. Not many people really on SoundCloud. It's just like a very esoteric group of electronic and sort of like American young aspiring trap artists there, right? So nobody goes there necessarily for house music, less indie music, but people found it on their own accord, and it actually gained some sort of like popularity by SoundCloud standards on its own, and that sort of indicated to me like, well, okay, this song could be something. And then 2 years later, we just decided to bring it to life, but it kind of took on more of a new disco sound in the end. Just naturally, it went that way when we were reproducing it on Pro Tools, and it kind of made sense to do that because, like, we are fans of the new disco genre, because, like, Sean, Sloan, and I were basically toddlers, and we were hearing that stuff on the radio and on Rage and stuff like that since we were kids a lot. So I don't know, we'd already done covers of Jamiroquai and Sophie Ellis-Bextor and stuff like that, so I figured it'd be appropriate. And, the current zeitgeist is like 1990s culture for sure. And, I don't know, it just fit, so it became like a new disco version of the original in the end.
So will that flavour carry on to the new album?
Like, I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. I would say no, to be honest, because it's a standalone single, and the album is going to be a while away. I think this is one of the other things too about that song, is that we are finally exercising freedom, and we're always cautious about the quality of the stuff that we put out, but now we can put out whatever kind of body of work we like, because we're not signed, and FMU was the first song that we released independently. But this, I feel like, was the first time where we really just went, stuff it. You know, we can do whatever we want. So I think it might take a while for us to get comfortable with that idea because, you know, you don't want to take risks. It feels scary to take risks, obviously, in the music industry, which is highly dubious anyway. But I think with that song, you know, maybe the sound will carry on to the album, but I think it's more of like a standalone thing, and there's probably going to be more standalone stuff coming in the future, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So will you bring on board a producer for the next album or self-produce?
Don't know. I think we always like to at least co-produce. We've worked with John Paul Fung a few times, just like we did with Flying. But really, like, more or less, we need him as a sort of like technical support because he's so good at pulling hi-fi sounds. I think now we're old enough, we have enough experience to know exactly what we want in terms of production. So I don't know, if we find someone good that we like and who doesn't charge up the nose, then we'll probably get a producer.
Yeah. So do you think this COVID-19 period has changed the album in any way? Will it change lyrically, thematically?
Oh, I can't speak on behalf of my brother for that. But I'd say for me, definitely since I've been here, it's given me much more time to clarify what I want to say lyrically, and I'm putting much more focus lyrically into my music because previous album was the first album where I had my own songs on there, singing my own songs, that is. But you know, really they were just a product of like the first songs that I've ever written that had just been bolstered and pre-produced to make them better and to refine them more. Whereas like with these songs, I'm starting from the beginning with like a clear direction. So in terms of the COVID-19 stuff, yeah, probably a lot of brooding hermit thought patterns in lyric content, I think.
So what have you been listening to get you through this time?
A lot of different stuff, but my current muse is a band from London who also has a half Japanese singer. They're called Kero Kero Bonito, which is sort of almost like a parody on like a typical Japanese pop group name. And that's almost exactly what their music is, except it's not even a parody. It's cutesy Japanese pop, but their latest album was actually just like really nice, mature indie rock. But the production and their songwriting is flawless in my opinion, and it's just something you've never heard before. It doesn't sit within the parameters of any playlisting trend, you know? They're very unique, but they've developed their own following. They don't have like crazy mainstream appeal or anything. I don't know. I see some of us in them because like we try to keep our songs like snappy and have pop sensibility to it without it being full bore pop. So yeah, KKB or Kero Kero Bonito. That's my muse at the moment.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I'd encourage you highly.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to most when lockdown is over?
Whoa. Just going outside again and just not trying to stave off profound boredom. Also flying back to Canada to see my girlfriend would be nice. Who knows when that's going to happen. Really just being able to just like socialize a bit more. I'm not the most socially active person in the world, but still like I do miss doing it every now and then. So I don't know. Yeah, just the boredom factor, just to be able to contrast the quiet and the focus with something else, you know, would be nice.
So I guess you're still able to write together and swap files and get work done?
Yeah, I'm going to do that soon. I'm going to send some sessions to my brother. But really, we work best individually, and we like to collaborate just at the end to just like tie off ends. That's how it works best. But the plan well, really it's a dream because of the COVID thing, is to actually meet up in Mexico to record the album because, accommodation is so affordable here. And the last album was DIY anyway. We know we can do it. So yeah, I think that's going to be the plan. We'll probably keep to ourselves. We can share music, but we'll probably keep to ourselves until we have a solid plan to actually get into the studio and record.
All right, Lach, well, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to hearing some new music.
All right, thank you very much for having me, Greg. It's my pleasure.